Hello everyone, this is our Mary and Angelica, and in this video we are going to talk about word formation analysis. For purpose we choose the song Arabella by Arctic Monkeys, an English rock band composed by four musicians. If you are wondering what is the song about, let me explain you. The song is about a girl called Arabella. Let's say she has a feel for the eye. Likewise, Arabella is described as a masterpiece, even if she isn't that perfect. The song contains examples of affixation, both inflectional morphemes and derivational morphemes, compounding, both endocentric and exocentric compound, conversion, clipping, only for clipping and borrowing. So now let's start with inflectional morphemes. As you can see, the first part of the song goes: Arabella's got some installer gator skin boots. There is an affix accompanying the word Arabella, a contraction. So instead of having Arabella has, we have Arabella's. The other example of inflectional morphemes in the song is the word smokes. The original word is smoke, but the affix "s" is added. Remember, this suffix appears when after third person there is a verb. The other example, as you can see, is there the divisional morphemes or other part of word formation. So, this part of the song goes: on the passenger side, it's much less picturesque. First, passenger is the variational morpheme because the word is divided into parts. The original word is pass, and we add enjoy, that becomes in the variational morpheme. The second is picturesque. Picturesque we divide into parts. First is picture, and to become in the variational morpheme when we add a suffix "sk". The next type of word analysis is compounding. We found two examples, and the song goes: my days and best when the sunset gets so. In the first example we found is sunset is an exocentric compound because sun is the main word, and the second example is she's got a Barbarella silver swimsuit. Swimsuit is an endocentric compound because the main word is suit.
Let's continue with conversion. The song goes, and when she needs to shelter from reality, she takes a dip in my daydream. Here, the noun shelter, that is a place where you can find protection, turns into a verb that means to give protection. For example, if you want to use the word shelter as a noun, you could say, the children found a shelter in the forest. Or, if you want to use it as a verb, you could say, the man wears warm clothes to shelter himself from winter. Another example of conversion is the word sip, when the song goes, takes a sip of your soul, and it sounds like. The verb to sip, which means to drink in small quantities, turns into a noun. That is a small amount of drink that you take into your mouth. Taking into account this image, let's say Trump is sipping water in the middle of his speech. Or Trump is taking a sip of water in the middle of his speech. Now let's move on to for clipping. We can find for clipping in Arabella's got an interstellar gator skin boots. The word gator comes from alligator, so the original word is clipped. That means that the first part of the word is omitted. An alligator or gator is a reptile similar to crocodile, but it's smaller and lives in warm places. The next word is in, and a helter-skelter wrung her little finger and abraded endlessly. But before analyzing it, we want to talk about a fascinating word that we found in the song. We tried to include it in the analysis, but it was impossible because it has an unknown origin. We're talking about the term helter-skelter. So since we can't explain the origin of the word, we are just going to talk about its meaning. Helter-skelter has many meanings. The first one describes something that is hurried and disorganized, especially when things happen very quickly one after the other. We could say, he now faces another crisis in his helter-skelter existence. The second one means in a disorderly or in a hurried manner. For example, a panicked crowd running helter-skelter to get away from the tear gas. The third one refers to a spiral-shaped slide. It is common in England. Yes, this is a helter-skelter and the song refers to it. Having said that, I'm going to continue explaining the word round. The original word is around, that means on all sides of something. Now, I don't know if you noticed it, but the first sound of the word around is pretty weak, and that's one of the reasons why it's clipped. Okay, it's time for borrowing. The song goes organic cigarettes that she smokes. The word cigarette belongs to this category because it was borrowed from French cigarette in 1824 and it's the diminutive of cigar. Cigarette is a thin tube of paper filled with tobacco which people smoke. There you go, a cigarette. The last word is cheetah. It appears in That's Magic in a Cheetah Print Coat. The word was borrowed from Hindi between 1695 and 1705. A cheetah is a large wild cat that has black spots and can run very fast. Personally, I think it's majestic. Oh, by the way, here are the references. They are pretty important. Well, that was an example of word formation analysis of a song. And thank you for your attention.